Do you know what your menstrual cycle is telling you about your fertility? Today, we're going to explore the crucial phases of your cycle and how tracking them can actually significantly boost your chances of conception. So stay tuned to empower yourself in your fertility journey. Welcome to Roots in Fertility. My name is Carley Schroeder. I am a functional nutrition coach, personal trainer, yoga instructor, intuitive healer, and mom of three really young babies. I am here to talk to you about your menstrual cycle. These are some things that I really wish I would have known when I first experienced menstruation. And if you understand this and you start to track it, you will know that your cycle is just not a monthly occurrence, a shedding, an inconvenience. It's actually a vital indicator of your reproductive health and your overall health. So let's explore the different phases of the menstrual cycle and how understanding them can actually help enhance your fertility. So the menstrual cycle is divided into four phases. The menstrual phase is the part where we're bleeding or the shedding. The follicular phase is right after. It's a complete reset of all our hormones. Then we have our ovulation, and then the back end after ovulation occurs is the luteal phase. So each phase plays a really important role in preparing your body for a potential pregnancy. So let's break down each one of these phases and discuss what happens during each of these times of the month. First, we have the menstrual phase, and this phase marks the beginning of the cycle, and it is characterized by menstrual bleeding. And if you think that it also goes hand in hand with PMS symptoms and cramps and headaches, then you're going to want to check this out, this myth, because that's totally not true. This menstrual cycle typically lasts between 3 and 7 days. And during this time, that uterine lining is shedding. The hormone levels, particularly estrogen and progesterone, are at their lowest. So that's why it's kind of like the reset. Some people experience symptoms like cramping and bloating and fatigue during this phase. And if it's excessive, we definitely want to get the hormones in balance. So you're going to want to watch this video. So during this time, listen to the body. Take it easy. Help, drink water, stay hydrated, eat nutrient-rich foods that will actually help support your body during menstruation. Think about it. Organ meats are really great during this time, giving yourself rich iron. Next is the follicular phase. So this phase starts after the menstrual cycle, and it generally lasts anywhere from 8 to 14 days, really depending on the person. During this phase, the pituitary gland actually releases this follicle stimulating hormone, or it's also known as FSH, which actually stimulates the growth of the ovarian follicles. And these follicles produce estrogen, which helps thicken the uterine lining and prepare for potential pregnancy. Now, in the follicular phase, you might notice increased energy levels, a sense of feeling social and well-being, and kind of like that go-get-'em attitude, thanks to the rising estrogen levels and testosterone. It's a great time to focus on eating healthy. This is not a time where you actually need to have extra calories. And so we don't need extra food during this time. We kind of just kind of pour our energy outward into the world. Ovulation is that third phase, which typically occurs in the middle of the cycle. And so this can really vary. It could be day 8, it could be day 25. It really varies on woman to woman and cycle to cycle. So this is when a mature egg is released from the ovary and it's available for fertilization. Ovulation is triggered by the surge in the luteinizing hormone, or LH. So you might actually even be able to recognize when you're ovulating. Some women can actually feel a little crampy when it happens. It could be a slight rise in the basal body temperature, which is completely normal and necessary for a viable pregnancy. You will also see changes in your cervical mucus. So it starts to look like an egg white consistency, and there starts to be more. It's a lubricative type of secretion. And sometimes women will actually experience some type of pelvic pains where they can actually feel that during their ovulation. So it's important to track your cycle so you can start to pinpoint ovulation, and that way you can more accurately be aware of when conception and intercourse should happen. Finally, we have the luteal phase, and this is the phase that's right after ovulation, and it's from then until the start of your next menstrual cycle. So usually around, could be anywhere from day 15 to, or I should say day 10 to what and beyond. I always am cautious to tell you times because then people start to worry about what's wrong with them. So it varies from woman to woman. So after the egg is released, the empty follicle transforms into the corpus luteum, and this produces progesterone. Progesterone actually helps maintain the thickened uterine lining, which creates an ideal environment for a fertilized egg to implant. If the egg is fertilized, it will implant in the uterine lining and pregnancy begins. And if not, the corpus luteum will breaks down and progesterone levels will start to drop. And the cycle will begin again with menstruation. During the luteal phase, some women may experience symptoms like breast tenderness or bloating or fatigue or even mood swings. So during this time, it is a good time right before the menstrual cycle begins to go inward and downward and rest and work with those in and down grounding energies. This is a good time to go inward, focusing your attention to yourself and not putting so much energy to the outside world. Understanding your menstrual cycle and its phases can provide you with key insights into your fertility by tracking your cycle, so you can start to identify patterns and recognize ovulation signs and better understand your body's rhythms. Also, when you are tracking, you can start to identify if there is any type of issue. It would result, or you would be able to see that maybe you don't have enough of your luteal phase is too short. You don't have enough progesterone in the body. So use it as a way to make informed decisions about your reproductive health and also as a way to time conception. If you guys want to learn more about tracking your cover line and understanding more about tracking with your basal body temperature and cervical mucus, you're going to want to check out this video. Thank you so much for joining today. If you found this video helpful, I ask you a small ask. Click that red button. It's free for you and it's easy to do. It helps support me on my channel, and if you're looking for more tips in holistic fertility, then you will see a ton more on my page. I hope you now understand that your menstrual cycle is a valuable tool to understand your fertility and to start to take charge of your reproductive health. I can't wait to jump in and talk more holistic healing practice with you in the next video. Aloha.